it's kind of funny because, for years and years, everybody, it's always been the whisper. It's always been the idea. Oh, that kid's going to be a pastor someday. And the moment for me when I knew that you were going to be a pastor was when we did some big youth event with a couple other churches in the fellowship hall. It was a big concert, and you had given a message. And it was also my first time having to record anything because Melody handed me a camera and was like, get this on video. And I remember the entire time I was recording you give that message. I remember looking over at Melody and I'm like, he's gonna be a pastor someday, right? And Melody just shook her head slowly like, yes, he is. And ever since then, it's been probably the most exciting thought for me and the way spiritual life is gonna change.
We were introduced to Galan well on his way to being a pastor. And over the years, we've gotten closer to them and really have gotten to witness what God has been doing in Galan's life. And he's really inspired me to be myself, to take that mask off and be real and really focus on my relationship with God, the real, raw, relationship with God in my walk. And it's just been a real blessing to just see all the things that he's done in his own walk, and then to hear the stories of how far he's come and to get to see the fruit of his obedience to God.
Wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe that you're finally a pastor. That's an amazing accomplishment, and I'm so happy for you. When I met you, it was about 14 years ago, and it was a beginning up here on this platform. And I remember you came in and you were, pretty green, but full of passion and desire to serve God and such a heart for worship. And that was so wonderful. And I've followed you. I've followed you all these years. I've watched you grow. Anytime you've gotten up here to preach, I just get so excited. Just so excited to see what it is that God put it in your heart to share, and just see how the Lord was going to use that to minister to people.
God needs more young people to rise up, to hear his calling, to put into action the things that are in their hearts. I think our pastors are challenged more in this day and age to have the congregation understand or follow, and it's a challenge to capture their attention and to think about what God is actually trying to say. He's ultimately trying to get you to think about what God really wants you to do, or maybe the position that you're in, right? So I love that.
I've actually had dreams about you and Claudia going into ministry, and I would wake up and just be so excited, and that much more curious about how the Lord was going to continue to work in your life. So I just want you to know, I'm really excited for you, and that I really believe in who you are and who God created you to be. And I know that God's going to use you to have a profound impact in people's lives. It's going to be much bigger than what you realize. And I just can tell you that there's no greater joy than serving God, and to see you do that, and to see how the Lord has molded and shaped your life so far has just been a great privilege to be a part of. I'm looking forward to seeing more. And I just want you to know I'm going to be praying for you, praying for Claudia, praying for the family that God has given you now with your little one. And I look forward to how the Lord's going to continue to grow our ministry up here on the platform, our friendship, and just seeing you complete the tasks that God has given you as a man of God. And it's going to be awesome. So
they're not necessarily fading out, but the old timers are starting to take a step back. And I think the younger congregation is, coming forward a little bit more, and a lot of the people in that younger congregation have already been majorly impacted by you and will continue to do so. So, and like me especially, or like anyone who's younger but is in the ministry side of things around here, working with you has been one of the more special parts of doing this. And just the fact that it's official now and you're a pastor, I think that makes it all the more exciting.
I feel like God is doing a new thing with Galan in our church, and I can sense it, when he's preaching, when we're doing worship. It's just a different feel. I really feel a sense of change and growth is coming, and just the opening of a door. It will change us, like we're not going to be able to be here and not be changed, I feel.
I don't know if I'll ever call him Pastor Galan. That might take a while. But
I know, right? How do you do? What do you do?
The thought of having Tio as a pastor, it made me feel happy for him because I knew that he always wanted to become a pastor, and I just saw more excitement in him, and he looks much happier. And I think having another pastor would be cool because then, you could always, in one sermon you could hear one pastor, and the other sermon you could hear another, and it'd be nice to hear two different voices speaking at church, and hearing how they say and the excitement in them when they talk about God and Jesus. Having another pastor in the family sort of makes me think about maybe Isabel will become the next pastor, or Towns could become the next pastor. And I just feel like there could be a generation of family members that become our pastors for church. And I think that'd be exciting to hear what everyone has to say about God and Jesus and this family. And I think it'd be really exciting for everyone. I think God chose Tio to be a pastor because every time when he goes to church, I see the excitement in his face. I think I was like, he's fit for the job because he's always so excited to go to church and be with God and everyone in his family that he loves.
It can't be anything but good. I mean, the biggest time in your life right now, like you're a first-time dad and a pastor all in the same year, basically. I think there's nothing but hope and goodness, in store for you.
I feel like he has a special connection with God, and he's always reading his Bible and saying his prayers, and he's just always had this great bond and connection with Jesus. And I think that it's great for him because I feel like you could consider this one of his dreams that he's wanted, because I know he's wanted it for a while. So I think it's great that he's achieving one of his dreams, and he's helping God and serving our world and Jesus and all that.
This is a long time coming, and it's gonna be good for you. It's gonna be good for us. I just can't put into words how excited I am for this.
I know that he loves God very much, and he's always with him. And I just know that he'll be a great pastor.